Hi there, my name is Elise Castonguay, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create 8 pages for 2-page spreads for the Croptoberfest 2024 Loads of Fun layouts from the project booklet. And let's get started right away. So to do all of these pages, you're going to need the Croptoberfest 2024 Sampler Cardstock Pack and the Croptoberfest 2024 Accessory Paper Pack. You will also need the matte pack from the Croptoberfest 2024 and Croptoberfest embellishments. So the first thing you're going to do is open up your cardstock, and you're going to set aside one piece of beige and canary. That will be our first layout. And then you're going to set aside 2 pieces of cranberry cardstock. That will be the second layout. Then you're going to set aside 2 pieces of tangerine cardstock. That will be layout number 3. And 2 pieces of hot fudge is layout number 4. So we're just setting these aside because we don't need them at all. All of the directions that I'm going to be sharing with you today all come from the cutting guides here. And then we will work on the 2-page spreads. What I'll do is create dry fit layouts. Then I'll go back and I will embellish them and then share those with you. All right, to get started. You will need a couple of tools to create these layouts. You will need a 12-inch trimmer. You will need the Jumbo Circle, which I will use in our very first cut. And you will also need the red and blue blade, along with the largest circle from the custom cutting system. And a pair of scissors to trim a banner, and of course, adhesive. I also love the 13-inch mats. I find them to be very helpful. And in the case of centering the jumbo circle for the very first cut, I feel like it's almost necessary. Okay, I'm going to line up the center of my jumbo circle. So I had drawn previously black lines to mark exactly in half and exactly in half again. And so if I line up those black lines, I know I'm exactly centered in the middle of this piece. Okay, all right, with my teal stripes going horizontally, that will be important. I'm going to use the jumbo circle with the red blade on the outside track. What's important here is that you don't move the middle, that you rotate around it. And I always wiggle the piece just to make sure it's coming up. So this piece is going to go, actually, let me just take a peek back at the booklet. It would be good if I grabbed the right booklet. Hold on a second. Good booklet. This piece is going on that very first layout. So I'm just going to tuck this on that beige piece of cardstock that I set aside, just so it stays flat. Okay. And then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to be cutting this circle in half. And on our trimmers here, if you lay your piece in the middle, you lay the circle right in the well, it will actually cut it exactly in half. If you have any doubts at all, You can take your circle, if you're not comfortable doing that, and pinch it at the top, and pinch it at the bottom, and then line up those 2 pinches on your dotted line. Exact science there. Do a pinch. And then remember, you can pull out the guides to double check that you are straight. Right on my pinch there. Probably just trust in the guide. And of course, now I'm seeing shadows. So maybe it's easier to see on this side. There's one. Measure 3 times, cut once. A good strategy to have. Okay. I'm setting those aside. And now I'm going on to my beige cardstock. And I have all the directions for this. We are going to cut at 4 inches. Oh, I apologize. Well, that isn't the one we wanted to do next, but you know what? It doesn't really matter the order that we cut. So we're going to go with what I have here. We're going to cut the beige cardstock at 4 inches. We're going to slide and cut it at 2.5 inches. We're going to slide and we're going to cut this piece at 4 inches. We do not need this piece, so I'm going to set that aside. Then we're going to take our 4-inch piece. We're going to cut it at 6 inches. We have 2 4-inch by 6-inch pieces. We have the 2.5 by 12-inch piece. And now we're going to take that last 4-inch piece. We're going to cut it at 4 inches. Slide it over, cut it at 4 inches. And then with this remaining piece, we're going to take the largest circle with the blue blade on the inside. Make sure you have your little feet in the guide and that you press down firmly. Once again, wiggling your piece just in case. All right. And so now I have these 2 pieces to set aside, as well as all of my beige pieces. Since I'm in the habit right now of going backwards, let's just go right to canary cardstock number 6. And opening up my trimmer, I'm going to start by cutting at 6 inches. I'm going to rotate what I'm calling piece number 2, which is this part, and I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. And rotate this. So the 4-inch piece, run slide, cut it again at 4 inches. Just like with the beige, we're making mats here. And with this last piece, we are going to cut using that same largest circle. This time we are cutting the inside track with the red blade. Once again, make sure your little feet or pegs are in the track. Don't need that piece. Set aside those pieces. Now we're going to go and take a look at the orange bursts. Now, papers 5 and 6, you're going to be making the exact same cuts. I do want to point out that when you cut these, your bushel top should go to the left. And that will matter because when we go to rotate these, you want your apples facing up when they go across the page. So bushel tops to the left. And if you are comfortable stacking, you can do this one time. I'm going to give that a try. If you're not comfortable stacking, you can absolutely repeat this step. So I am going to stack them, and my first cut is going to be at 3 inches. We're going to use the scissors on these 3-inch pieces in just a few minutes. So I'm just going to set those aside together. Then we're going to be cutting at 1/2 inch. And I always feel more comfortable cutting my 1/2 inch strips on this side. So I just did a full rotation. But however you want to cut your 1/2 inch strips is entirely up to you. So that's one set of 1/2 inch strips. I'm going to slide them over, stacked very tightly together. Second 1/2 inch strip. And then I'm going to take these 2 pieces here and cut them at 10.5 inches. So here's my large piece. I'm going to be cutting them at 10.5 inches. And these 2 extra strips we do not need. So I'm now going to set these pieces aside. But I am going to grab the scissors. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be making quick banner strips. So once again, stacked pieces. I'm going to cut a piece, cut right in the middle. If you are particular, you can line them up. And because it's 3 inches, you can cut it 1.5. You may not be that particular, but do that. Some people just fold their piece right in half. If you do it that way, you can just cut from the corner to that piece you punched, where you cut, from the corner to that middle piece. And then you didn't do any bending. All right, end of that piece. Then, moving on to the designer paper with the boards. All right, we have 2 different pieces. We have piece number 3 and piece number 4. I seem to be going completely backwards, so let's go to piece number 4. Once again, our boards are going to be on the top left of the page, and I'm going to begin by cutting my 1/2 inch strip from the bottom. And if you're looking at the guides, you can see that they do cut the 1/2 inch strip off the bottom. So I'm going to do that just as it is. And then I'm going to slide all the way back and cut the 1.5 inch strip as shown. And I decided to do that because I wasn't sure if the design of the gourds is cut more evenly if I evenly distributed if I start with the top. So here's my 1.5 inch cut. And I think they look great. I'm going to slide this over to make a second 1.5 inch cut. And then I'm going to slide this over and cut at 6 inches. And then this last strip should be 2.5 inches. And this is where I will just double check, line it up. And sometimes there is just a little bit extra. So I'm going to set that aside. And this piece will remain a full strip. But this 6 inch piece, we're going to rotate the strip and we're going to cut it at 2 inches. And it doesn't really matter which way the cuts go. 2 inches, we're going to slide, and it'll be another 2 inches, slide, another 2 inches. And this last piece is going to be a, wait a second, 2 inches, 2 inches. We do not cut more than 2 inches. I apologize. This is a 4-inch cut. This is supposed to make 2 4-inch maps. So I will end up putting mine right back together. Yes. So if I follow my directions and not what I say, 6, 2 inch, 2 inch, and a 4 inch. Not worried about that at all. But yes, 2 2-inch pieces and 2 4-inch. All right, I will set those aside. Designer paper number 3. Once again, I'm going to rotate it so that my boards are on the top left. In the same way I did the last piece, I'm going to cut 1/2 inch off of my bottom. Then I'm going to cut the 9-inch piece. This last piece should be 2.5 inches. And once again, just double check. You may have just a slightly longer piece. And then with my big piece, I'm going to rotate it and cut it at 7 inches. All right. Designer paper number 3. And finally, designer paper number 2. You are going to make sure, once again, that your stripes are going horizontally this way. When we do the reverse strips, so actually, I'm just going to double check on it. So I'm just going to confirm that. If yes, we want them to go horizontally, because when we cut our strips, we want them to be going in this direction. And so when we cut with the stripes going horizontally, we will be cutting the mason jars the correct way. All right, so we're going to cut at 1.5 inches. And the nice thing is that our shelf or edge of the trimmer goes that way. So I'm going to cut at 1.5 inches first. And I'm going to repeat this cut 3 times for a total of 4 1.5 inch strips. So here's 2. Here's 3. And here's 4. So I'm certainly hoping that because this is a recording, that if I am going too fast at all, you can certainly stop and pause for that. And then the 4th part is to slide it and cut it at 4 inches. This is an extra piece. I'm going to take my 4-inch piece. I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. So we have these extra pieces all cut. And give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to pause the video and I will drive it the rest of the layout for you to see. So here's my pause. All right, for layouts, number 1, you're going to put your beige and canary cardstock down. You're going to pull the outside piece from your mason jars. You're going to take 2 of the mason jar strips and place them on the outsides. And the reverse stripes will go right here. And then you have the opportunity to place 4 5.5 by 3.5 inch photos. You can certainly Make them also 5 3/4 by 3 3/4 and have an 1/8 of an inch border. On the left side, you're going to take the 6 by 12 piece of cardstock from the canary. You're going to place it underneath, lining it up at 3 and 9, adhere that down, and then you also have the 4 by 6 mats here, where you can either use 5 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch, or you can trim them to 3.5 by 3.5, so that you can see more or less paper. That is layout number 1. Pause for layout number 2. For layout number 2, you're going to take your 2.5 inch strips from the boards and reverse them. So you have 2 pieces of plaid at the top. You're going to take 2 of your 1/2 inch burst strips and place them there. You're going to take the 5 and the 7 inch board pieces and place them vertically right here. You're going to take your 2 4 by 6 board pieces. You're going to reverse them and use them as the flat mats. And finally, you're going to take your beige cardstock, your 2 4 by 6 mats on the left, your 2 4 by 4 mats on the right. I will go back and I will use the mat pack, but for right now, here's your dry fit paper. Get ready for layout 3. I must apologize. I'm going to go back to layout number 1. Dry fit. This fits. This is what they showed in the pictures, and I didn't realize until I got to the tangerine page that the pieces I had subbed in actually go on layout number 3, which is this page. You certainly could do it in the reverse order, but basically what you're going to do for this layout is you're going to take your 2 half circles and you're going to send them along the middle. You're going to take your your orange bursts, and you're going to line them up at approximately 2 inches from the bottom. So I'm putting mine at 10 and 2, dry fit here. And then the 1/2 inch board strips reversed to the plaid will tuck in right underneath. And then your 2 teal waves will go here and here. And just so I don't make the same errors again, you can also take a look at the mats on this page. And the mats for this page include this is why I was going to do them all at the end. However, they include this mat, which of course will look different when you put your photograph on top, and this truck mat as well. And then you're going to cut this mat in half and separate it out as shown in the layout. And then finally, I'm looking for the one that looks the same. Here we go. And the plaid right there. So that is going to be layout number 3. And rather than turning it off again, layout number 4 is your 2 base pieces of hot fudge. We're going to pick up the rest of the pieces that we have here. And we're going to start by taking the 1.5 inch strips. They're going to go approximately 1 inch from the bottom. So we can line them up at 1 inch and 1 inch. And then right above that, place your burst pieces, the orange burst strips. And then right above that, you will place your 2, I'm calling apple bushel paper. And then you will place your 2 canary pieces of cardstock. your 4x6 mats. Once again, I'm dry fitting here. And then looking at what you have left, there is the orange box mat, which you can journal on or place a photograph on top. We're going to cut this mat in half. And so I will include half of this mat. I'll put the other one back on the other page where it came from. There is this mat that will trim and place here. And then finally, this orange mat goes right up here. So I will dry fit so that you can see all of that. But as I mentioned, you'll put one mat here and the other half of this mat there and separate it out to the other page. And then, yes, you even have some bonuses. We don't always get regular mats in our layouts. So I'm just going to place a piece of cardboard here. I should say regular borders. So we're going to take the rest of your strips here. You have the beige strip. And you have the half pieces of board. And then you place the half piece and a half piece here. And then you layer them, like so. And then you'll end up using the embellishments that were selected right here. You can certainly leave it just as they are. What I mean to say is you can decide which ones you'd like to use. That makes more sense. And then here is the red truck. And you can leave that as it is, but you can also embellish it by using these embellishments from the embellishment pack. And so you can turn this mat into that, which is gorgeous. So I'm going to pause. I will place everything and then I will take you through all the steps. All right, let's run through all 4 project layers. So the first one here layers the hay bale and the bushels of fun in the bushels, which makes sense. As I mentioned previously, these are the 2 mats that you'll cover with photographs or however else you'd like to do that. You can certainly trim your photograph or you could use this as a journaling box. And here you can see that in the truck, there's layers of bushels of apples as well as apple milk. And then on the right-hand side, there are more hay bales, and this is the layered apple basket for apples. That is layout number 1. Layout number 2 has the Indian corn, Native American corn, I should say, and loads of fun and the pumpkins, once again layered, and we did pop those up with a foam square. And on the right-hand page, the mat cut in half, layered brown truck with the bushels in the back and the banners right here. Layout number 3, this is the loads of fun layered embellishment along with the pumpkin mat cut in half and layered. And behind the red wagon here, I layered in the pumpkins and the banner as shown in the layout. And then here, this mat already comes with the truck on it. I put the blue wagon and then the layered embellishments of boards and pumpkins. And I attached the banners right there. That is layout number 3. And layout number 4, special delivery. I popped those with some foam squares, added hay bales here. Once again, all shown in the guide. And then the 2 trucks filled with apple and vegetable products. And the mats on this page, this is the other half of the mat, along with this mat where you can put 4x6 photographs or use for journaling. You could journal here, put a 3x4 photograph there, or journal here, and put a photograph here and journal there. You really have lots of options. I layered the hay bales with the apples and then the crop till you drop. And the two journal border in a box. For this one, I layered the two trees behind the truck that has the pear mat. And then here, I layered the tree on top of the red truck that was on this mat itself, and then layered it with the layered truck. So that leaves me with this mat on both sides, including either side, presents, an extra set of flags, some bundled Christmas trees, and some other trees as well. So they're not included with any of these, but you can certainly embellish them on the page. And this could turn into your Christmas page. And you could do something a little bit different with this. If you chose not to put the mat here, you could turn this into another Christmas page all on your own. So I hope you enjoyed going through all of the steps to create loads of fun in the Croptoberfest 2024 project booklet. I hope that you did some fall activities where you will be able to put your photographs. We have apple picking in our family. We went to concerts that took place outside at local fairs. So we've got lots of photographs to go on these pages. If you haven't done anything to warrant some, maybe you can go take some foliage pictures while we still have it in the room. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping.